Alright, so last time on Mushoku Tensei Season 2 of, it's gonna be episode 9, was it? Yeah. Last time, Cliff, the way it just kind of hooks up with Cliff, how Cliff and Elisa just kind of hooked up just like that, and the way it just kind of plays out, it was really fun to see. And people say just more of a feels like a slice of life filler, but it's not filler. It builds the characters there. I mean, mostly Mushoku Tensei is a lot about just trying on adventures, going about with life. But then, if every now and then, some really key moments pop up. There is an underlying conflict, sort of conflict going on. You can kind of sense it. It's a matter of like how much will the show actually tackle that. But that's not really the strong suit. The strong suit is regarding just having the view of these characters, and it's not afraid to really, it's not skimming around it's not skimming on things. It's not trying to beat around the bush with it. It's just presenting these characters as they are. That's why they feel so believable. Now I understand the light novel, because more spoken context in the form of words, that of course it would feel more fleshed out. But when you have to present it in anime form, it's like, how much inner dialogue do you want? How much do you rather have to try for interpretation of sorts? The problem with in the anime industry right now is not just with not just with that demand and whatnot. It's like not even just that. Those are big things that I'd rather not open a can of worms about, because a lot of people have been talking about it nowadays. I don't like it either, but it is what it is. There's a decision, like, it depends on the director, it depends on the animators, it depends on the producer, it depends on the author, even the creator himself, herself, as to how that's going to be portrayed. How do you balance, trying to verbal and non-verbal sequences? Do they work out? How does it go from story to story? How will it work out how do you make it work out for the majority? It's a lot of things. There's no one size fits all sort of bill. Like, something you see in something like Listen to Blue Bird definitely would not fit in another story. And something you see in a dialogue, like with a lots of dialogue, of course, is not going to work well in something like in Fate. Like, people say Faith lacked dialogue, but I feel like it didn't need all that. It needed a little bit. It could have used a little bit more. I will say that. But I think if they try to fit every fucking viable dialogue in there from the visual novel, which is literally which I heard was like 24, at least like 20 hours long. I don't know how you guessed. I don't remember the guesstimation on that, but it is what it is. But yeah, and that, how they hook. So yeah, going back to Mushoku Tensei, how they hook up, and it's a weird dynamic, but I like it. It can be weird, but I like how it kind of just everything works out. It's fun. There's nothing so much to it. The part where my boy Rudy beats my man Baldi Gagi. There's a lot more context there, of course. I mean, there was a lot more spoken, but you can kind of get the things, when you touched about Mangon and Orsted. But Baldi Gagi is obviously not trying to disclose how much he actually knows about it, so you feel like something there is going on. And so, and then he wants to test Rudy's. It was like, give me your best shot. I want to see if it's really all about that, because that ain't no small feat just trying to survive Orsted of all people. And so Rudy just gave him the fucking give him his version of the Giggle Drill break, which does a lot of damage, but of course he got regeneration. And Baldi just sucker punches him which is kind of messed up, which is honestly messed up, but just like, it's like, hey, and now it is my turn. Like, that was funny, because he could have just killed Rudy. Like, Rudy is like a little shrimp next to him. But like the guy obviously isn't out for blood, and obviously he seems to be a nice guy. I mean, like, he'd probably be you're holding, hiding something for until later. Like you can kind of get that. You can kind of perceive that. And but this next episode, there's also like some nice little interactions with Fitz and Rudy. Fitz getting very displeased or maybe jealous that Rudy's still quite into girls. I mean, this man is trying to fix his fucking dysfunction. He's trying to have them, like, he's trying to do something with it. And there's a reason why. That's kind of a reason why he's also not too hesitant on bottling Linea's boobs when Percy tried to instigate shit. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, like, that part I won't excuse. But it is what it is. I don't have too much of an issue with that. It's just like, when desperate time comes to desperate measure, and Rudy will. And when Rudy does fix it, will he stick? It's a matter of like, is he gonna keep it? Is it gonna stay that way, or is it just gonna, I don't think he's gonna completely get rid of it. Of course, that's something that's been with him for too long. But he will try to keep it down. Like when it gets to that point, he has to be more faithful to the ones he does come to be paired with, or the ones. I mean, implying that that group. That's gonna happen. Something maybe more like Paul is, and I wouldn't blame him if he went him that route, or even done better. I mean, who knows? Anyways, so this next episode is going to be the White Mask, and I'm pretty sure we can kind of give we can take one guess and know who that's gonna involve. So it's gonna be great. All right, let me open up this episode, and we can get this baby started. All right. Alright, so this episode in 3, 2, 1, let's jam. No, that's not what. How do you get so ungainly? You just banged at a wall like that. Right? Well then, we shall help you. Never mind. Just gotta handle this on your own. Never mind. Man, she's clearly bothered. Hot and bothered. So this next this like the part with this episode's gonna cover said we gotta know Rudy got traumatized by Orsted real bad. So when he sees the one that was right, the person that was so the right that was literally looking like a right hand man or woman, right next to him, like how she be, shows up. Oh boy, that trauma will kick in. But there is something to about Nanahoshi that Brutus is going to learn, and who I feel is going to be very important for the series as a whole, regarding the point of is he Sekai getting put into another world, how that works out. By the way, Bleach is in the Sekai, mind you, it is technically. But we can't stop this fucking prejudice against Isekai now, can we? Digimon, I guess it's more like fancy, but Bleach is kind of fancy though. So, well, by the books you can't. Or at least the books they provide here. Gosh, it still amazes me how fucking big this library is. Oh, no, I have not. He's gonna have quite the meeting. Remember, she said that in English, and then but then when he heard about Nanahoshi, that was in Japanese. That will actually, based on Nanahoshi, how Eris told him as such in the human language. I mean, it's not actually Japanese, of course, but it's just more like. So when this language thing is gonna get complicated. So when she's gonna be talking with Nanahoshi, it's gonna be like more Japanese. And there she is. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yep, that was the one. Oh fuck. Oh yike. The book, the flipping of the book was a good timing. Damn, did you? If you fell down the stairs, it's it fits. Okay, yeah. This is they're speaking in the language within the world. Oh. They were going out of their way to make up a fictional language with this. How often? I don't think I remember an anime that has done something like this, or they've tried, but it sucked. I think they won a few tried before, but they sucked really bad. But yeah, so how do you know? She's obviously not a bad guy. Oh, were those the two? Was those the two other people that she was with? That was the one. That was those were. Yeah, she was the one. She was one of the. She was part of the group that Rudy has saved in his past life, or tried to save. Okay, now you're speaking in the actual Japanese. The actual Japanese. Sure, recognize that face. Yep. Oh, she is pretty. She doesn't know. She doesn't know. She does. She doesn't know about him in the in the past life. Yeah, because he's an anomaly in this world. She herself would be more or less an anomaly because she's also the one. She's also the one that has been transported to this world. She does. Does Rudy want to even go back to his world though? To that after that cruddy experience he's had. Mm. She's like us here. Like, why are we? She's like the majority of the others that would be transported. Like, why the fuck am I here? Yeah, different, different, different kind of isekais for them too. Mm. I'm kind of surprised she didn't draw two and two together and think that he may have been involved in that same accident. That's about chance. It's like a bunch of guys like trying to challenge their time, just getting clapped. She knows the man god, yeah, of course. It's a misunderstanding. Why did teleportation circles disappear from written history? Oh, that's why. Never mind. I can kind of figure why now. By who though? I doubt it's the man god. I could be wrong. Just like I mentioned before. The paradox shit? I mean, I had to figure some time traveling, some time looping thing is gonna be involved, but considering what Orsted has been saying, but I don't know yet. No, she can only use magic tools. I'm pretty sure though, but not mana from herself. Yeah, but she's not. But because she was teleported, she herself doesn't have mana. But because Rui was killed and then reincarnated into something from this world, he was able to have mana. Yeah, makes sense. Wow. Not really. Well, it's better than nothing, I guess. Mm. The food sucks. Wow. I guess she just doesn't have the same sort of taste buds. He's grown. He's grown. He's grown and he grew up. He's had a better experience in his world, even with even with the scary shit like with Orsted and the mod displacement incident. But right, it's like he can't hate it, even if it has some very questionable social standards. Or to help him with to help him with summoning shit, the teleportation stuff. And Fitz is only just standing. Sophie's just not unable to really understand what's going on here. Poor thing. Oh yeah, that's the old saying. The guy over there. Oh, he did. Oh, the color changed. Very Wait, so you're telling, yeah, her summoning might have been the cause, might have been the catalyst. Oh no. Oh, just exploded. She reacted out of emotions. Yeah. Yeah. That's rough. You gotta, if anything, blame whoever summoned her into this world in the first place. Whom I don't know who did. Again, I don't know who did it, but it. I don't think Orsted even knows. No, the man god's capping. I'm not entirely sure if the man god himself did all of that, but he may have like told people or told some other apostles to do it. Hmm. That's a lot to kind of take in, even though it doesn't feel like a lot has happened. Just got a lot of explanations just kind of came in. Jeez. But, damn, part where like she just exploded. That was more like when you suddenly realized, oh, this person is part of all, was the center of all that, and yeah, God damn, understandable. Well, I mean, considering the attitude she's giving me is like, yeah, I fucking hate this world, and the food sucks. I give it a 1 star rating. That's literally how she is. I'm pretty sure that's the majority of virtual singers here that were just gonna end up like, oh, I fucking hate this world, and just don't do nothing to do it to help or anything of the sort. It's a, I'd say it's a fateful encounter though. Wow, that just kind of went by hella quick. Wow, it. I just watched the One Piece episode, and that was supposed to be the most Sakuga blood-driven thing of all time. And compared, and I watched this, and I'm the one, well, and I'm more invested, more, you know, pumped about how everything is presented. Way more than what people were saying was the best animated episode ever in anime history. Nah, get out of here, please. Get out of here, please. This is all about I'm all about a balance here, and what I got here was something I really needed from this series. A really great, meticulous underlying development regarding this. It brings up the whole case with I'm just gonna talk about this a little bit more after the ending, and the next episode title. Are there any post credits? No. These feelings. I'm guessing we're gonna advance with the Fitz relationship thing. Oh boy, it's a lot to take. I like it though. This show is amazing, and honestly, that whole the way the episode just kind of starts with a little Sylphie perspective, and then they just kind of dive into a little bit more nitty gritty of the plot, which is the reveal Nanahoshi. Her voice actor did so freaking well here to display the subtle set of emotions there. You're just like all about the business thing, and you're just like, but she's also that sense of. So there's something about the nuances of Shio Wakayama's voice acting where like she may seem her tone of voice seems deadpan at first, but then when it comes to it, you can notice where she feels where there's sort of a tinge of kindness to it, to where like she's just like, I'm glad, like when Nanahoshi is just like, oh, I'm glad I finally found someone from my world, or someone who was originally from my world. And then also when she's just being straight to the point, just like, oh, I fucking hate this place. The food sucks, the clothing sucks, the language sucks, the morals suck, everything. And the only reason I'm just still here is because a gentleman named a grand gentleman with a lot of enemies named Orsted was happened to be there when I was dropped in. So yeah. This show is amazing with how it builds the characters. I just wish it could be able to do all of them as just as they can, but there's only so much you can do. But I'd rather not have this this multi-core sort of something that will stretch more than 2 cores at a time. That would hurt, actually. I've watched shows that have had more than two cores worth, and very few make it through retaining most of their quality. Some just feel so stretched out. I'm just like, nah, don't care. I'm not invested anymore. Too much of a good thing. So much spread out in terms of even visual production quality. I don't care what the fucking Sagaga fandom says about try to state their schematics about that. It wasn't as good back then. I feel like when you try to, I'm not gonna say it's perfect here, but for this episode at least, they really dove into the nitty-gritty. I'm sure some stuff was still skipped in the end, but I think enough was told to where like we can now kind of connect some dots. How everything turned out, how the whole encounter with Orsted was. Like I'm sure not all the questions are answered yet, but at least a good amount of them were addressed so far, or like at least the ones we immediately need. Now we don't know. Now Nanahoshi, at least we know that she's not an enemy. She is just someone that was associated with there was a really big misunderstanding because Orsted got fucking beef with the man god or Hitogami, but Rudius did not. I mean, Rudius was kind of more friendly to him, but he does suspect him though. Of course, he's just like, why is this guy telling me? It's like, oh, just do this, do that. And Rudy's just a little bit of this like, okay, you know more than I think you're telling me about. And so that's how it is. And it goes, and there's also the thing in terms of like, it has a distinct, I think we can draw the lines. If you're transported from that world to the next, you're probably not gonna have magic in that world full of magic because you're not supposed, because you're an anomaly and you're not supposed to have it. Now Rudy is also an anomaly as well, but it's more like it's more like a special case for him, a different case for him. He died in his world. He got reincarnated in a special timing because Orsted did not recognize him, or like, oh, you're not supposed to be there. You'd have to think, is there something where Orsted could see the future? Is he a time traveler? I don't know. But Rudy wasn't supposed to be there. But because he came into a new life within that world, in a body of that world, he was able to have magic or mana, and a lot of mana because he fucking trained since he was a baby. So him having the memory, retaining some sort of mental knowledge of sorts, as cracked as it can be, that did help. It was also a hindrance, though, of course, because when he tried to view this whole world as a game of sorts, and of course he realized that it ain't just all fun and games and such. And I feel like Nanahoshi's situation, that would have been the alternate case for Rudy, if everyone wants him to be this upstanding, morally acceptable by this fucking world's standards. That would have been there, and he would have done nothing. I'm telling you. Or if he tried, he would just create a whole bunch of drama unnecessarily, and I'm not for it. And because he's grown into his world a lot, and the fact he's grown to being from a baby and he's had more time there, I think, well, it has been about a year, right? So I feel like there's some sort of time thing going on, because Rudis was there longer. Well, technically it's supposed to be longer, but now she never aged. So something is up. I don't know if I have a full grasp on it, but here's the thing. The part where Rudy and Nanahoshi were basically isekai'd, but Rudy's just reincarnated. Nanahoshi is teleported, but it was a long time. It was like at least a decade or 15 years or so, or like up till like 8 years till I forgot. I don't know why I didn't touch upon this during the reaction, but there was something about it that kind of just feels odd, because Rudy came into the would have heard. They would have technically came at the same time, but Rudy came into it first. And then if what Nanahoshi said was correct, then that means that mana teleportation was when she got summoned or teleported, and that she is more or less the part of the catalyst of the, or if she thinks she's the catalyst of it. Well, but like she's not intended. Of course, it would be the one who summoned her. So there is something up. I'm not so sure how it's going to be, but she didn't talk about like something and Rudy side talked about time traveling and all the sort. And then Rudy is also like recognizes her So something is going on. I haven't read. I know I've read the lineup, but I've not reached the point where they've answered. I don't think I've reached that point in the novel where they, in the source, where they've answered it. I do not know if the main story addresses this completely at all. It could have just gone unsolved. A lot of things to take away, but I gotta talk about how the mood changed. Like okay, literally see here. At the start of this, everything was just normal colored. And there's also the timing, you know, let's say like a paradox in some sorts. It's something to kind of consider, but I feel like it's a little bit more complicated than that, because I think for Rudius, because he got reincarnated, time just flows fine for him. But for Nanahoshi's case, something happened to where like there maybe was a delay. I don't know, man. Am I missing something? But to where like she's some, or maybe I don't think it's. I doubt it's like a long delayed after effect. No, it's more like happened around the time when she got summoned. But something is up there. But you know, like in the original world, they both got the isekai thing happening to them at around the same time. But Rudius gets killed. Nanahoshi and her friends got teleported somewhere. She's still trying to find the other two. That's what she was telling them. She was writing it in Japanese, by the way, not the usual language, not the foreign language that we used to see. And I like how complicated it is. Like they were literally changing the. Hold on. They were literally changing up the language. So when Fitz is talking along with Nanahoshi, they were talking in that human god tongue in that world. I think it's human god tongue. I could be wrong. But when it's just between Rudius and Nanahoshi, who are more familiar with the language from the original world, it goes back to actual Japanese. So yeah, that's why when he wakes up, they're speaking in the human god, because they're all three in the same. But we're gonna have that one conversation with Nanahoshi. They're not gonna really do this much again, because when Nanahoshi's not really around, or when everyone else is comfortable saying that particular language, it'll just switch back to the default Japanese for the viewers, of course. This is so fucking crazy how it does that. Again, it's so easy to fuck up a fictional foreign language. But Mushoku Tensei did it too fucking well. If anyone wants to show me an example of this where it's done as good or better, show me it, and I'll prove it. And if I feel like it's done, if that example's done well, I will admit I'm wrong. But I felt like Mushoku Tensei is the only one that fucking did it that well. And then going back to where I was about to go, the tone changes. You see that. I know it's sunset, but it also sets a tone for what's going to come next. The revelation of it all with the Arne incident, like the saying that she might have been the one that caused it. Yeah, and then when Sophie finds out, I call her Fitz because like we're just gonna know until she is fully revealed herself as Sophie to Rudy. That's kind of the default level, but she reacts like instantaneously. It was just like she wasn't sure what's going on, but then when she's told a revelation that relates to all the painful experiences she's had prior, where she's just lost her family, thought she lost to Rudy, and she was literally that traumatic experience. Considering that incident clapped a bunch of people. Her immediate anger towards Nanahoshi was justified, but it was out of impulse too. And she's not like fighting she's not fighting the kind of thing where it's like they're focused or anything. They're kind of out of desperation, out of emotions. They're just like they weren't sure what to do. And I don't think this is an error or like a really awkward showing of these emotions. It's more like you just find out, you see this person in front of you, and you're like, and you just react. You got no plan. You got no plan coming into this one to try to attack this person, because you were not even sure if they were a friend or a foe. Just a fellow classmate that just doesn't really go to class, but it's pretty helpful when it comes to teaching some stuff. And then you find out it's like that, and then you react just like that, and you're gonna keep reacting like that until someone tries to stop you and calm you down. I know this because I've acted like that before. Yeah, not just me. Some of my family members have also acted like that before. Some of my friends have also acted like that before. It's them just reacting out of this emotion. It's tough to watch too. It was like just to see Fish just explode with anger, and of course, like, because she doesn't fully know what was going on. And of course, Nanahoshi is just apologizes, like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I should have phrased it better." That's why you gotta be careful with words, people, or otherwise you got just a bunch of fucking hungry dogs just coming at your mouth, coming at your throat. Yeah, that's a lot to take in. I'm just gonna end it here. Great episode. All right. Smash the like button. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter. Support the YouTube channel. Join the Discord server. Share the video around. Like, good stuff. Please share the video around. Like, when I say support, subscribe, share the video around, do it. I don't know how YouTube algorithms just filtering out my shit. It's on YouTube. They keep changing their damn terms of services and how the search tools. The search tools suck. YouTube search sucks, by the way. Until you make some filters, even then it still sucks. You gotta change the shit. But anyways, that'll do it. Real signing off, y'all. See you next time. Take care. Stay safe. Have a great day. Peace.